Alright guys, rolling out here on the road on the Aostirmotor S7B, and I've got it in pedal assist 5. I'm using throttle only. I'm going to see what top speed we can get to on this thing.
What's up guys, it's Ryan from the MXG channel. I've got a new two-wheeled machine to show you guys today. I've been having a blast with. If you've watched the channel lately, you know I have a real interest in electric power and electric bicycles. For fun, for commuting, for transportation around the motorcycle pits at events, and this is one of those that I feel like could serve that purpose really well. So this is an Aostirmotor S7B. It's a 750 watt rear hub drive e-bike. You may have seen my first rear hub drive e-bike video. It was an Aostirmotor S17. It's a little racier setup than this. It had the rear shock on the back, no cargo rack or anything like that, and a 1500 watt rear hub drive. And I quickly found out for the use I was going to use that bike, for pit, you know, if you're going to get a little wild with it, then yes, you want as much power and as much suspension as possible. But what I'm going to use an electric hub drive bicycle for, which is going to be camping trips, family vacations, transportation around the track, stuff like that, this kind of bike makes more sense, and I'm going to tell you why. Alright guys, so let's quickly hit on the specs of this machine. 750 watt rear hub motor. It's going to give you about 80 Newton meters of torque. You've got a 7-speed shifting system. It is Shimano components. You've got 26-inch wheels with 4-inch fat tires. More about those shortly. The frame is made out of 6061 aluminum. You've got forks on the front. Obviously it's a hardtail on the rear. I should also mention these forks do have lock-in, lock-out, and preload adjustment, which is cool. You also get disc brakes front and rear with the S07B. You get an LCD display with a USB out charge port and a 48 volt 13 amp hour lithium ion battery. Now as you can see, this bike is not showroom clean anymore. That's because we've been putting in the miles on this thing. We've done top speed tests. We've done some mountain biking that was probably a little too gnarly for this, but we really wanted to push it to its limits. We've done some commuting, we've done a little of everything to really get the feel to tell you guys what it's like. So I'm going to tell you the charge time, I'm going to tell you the range, but you'll need to stick around a little bit to see me do a top speed test at 210 pounds on this bike. So using throttle only on this bike, you're going to get around 15 to 20 miles. And this is probably a good time to tell you that one of my favorite things about the S7B is that it comes with a half twist throttle already. Every other e-bike I've messed with that's had a throttle has always been a thumb, and I've had to install my own twist throttle. I love that this already has a twist throttle, so for you moto guys, it's already intuitive, you've already got it. So 15 to 20 miles at throttle only. At pedal assist, I think you're going to expect at least double that. It's going to go a lot longer. And that's kind of leads me into the next thing I want to talk about this bike. Some of the other bikes I've ridden, including the S17 model, they are so powerful that when you are using the throttle or you're in a high pedal assist mode, even in the tallest gear on the road, you can't really pedal enough to still assist. And this bike complements itself really well because you can get out on the road, you can get this thing, you know, close up to its max speed, throw it in the 7th gear, and you can pedal, and you're still getting some assistance. And that pedaling can even pump this bike up, get a few more miles an hour past the top speed if you want. So it really makes it a more enjoyable bike to commute on. There's 3 ways you can ride this bike, guys. It's light enough, you can turn off the power completely and just ride it like a bicycle, especially if you're not tackling any hills. You can put the pedal assist on, and you can crank that pedal assist between 1 and 5. And while you're using the pedal assist, you can also use the throttle if you need to. And there's also an intelligent power assisted mode as well. Now the battery works similar to pretty much all the other e-bikes. You can lock it into place as long as it's unlocked. You slide it up and out. There's plenty of room here. There's a battery indicator on the side of the battery. Takes about 4 to 6 hours to charge this battery. So all my other e-bikes, mountain bikes, guys, don't have any way to carry anything. I always end up with a backpack when I'm using them for anything about hardcore mountain biking. And that's one of my favorite aspects of this S7B. The way the frame is designed, this bike can actually handle 300 pounds of capacity, and it's got this bolt-on rack on the back. So you can remove it if you want a sleeker look, but man, that thing is going to be so handy. We strapped a 55-gallon water drum to the back of ours and rode around with it. I don't recommend, it was just for laughs. Everything about the S7B just makes everyday logical sense. You've got a big comfy seat. This was Krista's favorite part. Every other bicycle I have in the garage has a very tiny, uncomfortable seat. You've got the cargo rack. You've got the fenders to keep mud and water off your legs. You've got a headlight, and you've got enough power to get you anywhere you need to go.
Oh my gosh, you almost made it. I cannot believe it. 750 watt hub drive. That's way steeper than it looks on camera, guys.
And enough battery to get you as far as you need to go. And let me tell you guys, these 4-inch fat tires, if you haven't ridden on these things, are amazing. They have a stability and a comfort that cannot be matched, obviously, by any skinnier tire. They're awesome. For sand, only way to go. For snow, they work too. You're not gonna get the quick handling you get with a skinnier tire, but on a bike like this, what you're doing, you're not gonna need it anyway. And I love the simplicity of this bike, guys. There's no compartments to look for controllers. The controller's out here exposed, held on by a couple bolts, easy to get to. It looks like a regular bicycle. In fact, if you take the battery off, it really would be mistaken for just a regular looking bicycle. Now, did I notice any issues or problems to where this bike would not work for me? No, not really. I did notice that if I wanted to be really lazy and use the throttle only, and I was on much of an incline at my weight, 220 pounds, if I would hit the throttle, sometimes it would overload the motor and cut out. And I just have to be a little less lazy and start pedaling. But on smaller inclines, flat, I would never have that issue with this bike. So if you're heavier and you plan on doing a lot of inclines and you don't want to pedal, you might want to get something a little more powerful than this. Otherwise, this is going to be all you need. You dirt bike moms and dads at the track, if you want something that's going to be light, quiet, produce no heat, easy to throw in the back of the truck, easy to throw in a hitch hauler, and affordable, I urge you to consider one of these as an option. And Aoster has stepped up to help you guys out. This bike retails at $1,300, and if you guys use the discount code Aoster MXG, I'll put that on the screen here, in November, if you grab one in November, you're gonna save $400, guys. You can pick one of these up for $899. So that's insane.
All right, guys, rolling out here on the road on the Aostirmotor S7B, and I've got it in pedal assist 5. I'm using throttle only. I'm gonna see what top speed we can get to on this thing. We're at 24 right now. 25, 26, 26 and a half. Good example here, guys. I'm on flat, I'm going 24, but I can still pedal and still have resistance. And I can actually pedal hard and get up to 27, 28.